Guys, the agenda for today is basically we'll go little bit about the XPath introduction. Then we'll know how to create your first XPath test case wise. So when you write test automation script, before you write any code in Java or any programming language, you find out the XPath first, and then you implement or use those XPath in your script. Then we will get to know about the differences between relative and absolute XPaths, creating your XPath using Chrome DevTools, which I will be showing the demo. And then selectors of demo will be taken care by Sanjay Kumar. Okay. Now, after that, we'll go some deep functions in XPath. So XPath functions, XPath operators. We'll see some demos and example, especially the example which I have used in my companies. Okay, and Sanjay will show those example in selectors of XPath access. And then finally, apart from XPath selectors of support many other features. So Sanjay will show those features also. And then finally, we will have the Q&A to answer your questions, and we try to have it face to face. So before we start, let's learn about little bit about Test Automasi, how we started it. So Test Automasi is a started after the first lockdown on 31st March. It's about 6 months now, and Test Automasi has seen traffic from 79 countries. We have received unique visits, 80K, over 80K unique visits. And right now, till now, we have around 200 plus students on our portal. We have 200 followers on LinkedIn and 71, 75 followers on LinkedIn. Not to boost about, but everyone starts from somewhere, right? So we have already contacted, wait, we have already have a contract with 6 international training portals, including Edureka. We are working with 4 clients in test automation, load testing, and app development. We have more than 16 e-learning courses on test automation, more than freelancing in 4 freelance instructors, and we have more than 50 freelancers registered on our portal. Currently, we have an opening for karate and QTP trainers. So if any of you is having knowledge in karate and QTP, at least 3 years of experience, then you can contact us at hello@testautomacy.com. Locust, it's performance testing tool, and also performance profiling. If you have any knowledge in performance, especially the developers who are actually working to create scalable code. The courses wise, we have an upcoming course on SDET Blueprint. It's an all-in-one course in Java, Python, and JStack. We have a full stack automation bootcamp level 3 coming up for CI/CD load security testing use cases. And finally, at the end of this month, we will be having a Python masterclass from a developer who is working in a company that will give us the Python masterclass session and also go deep in some machine learning techniques. Okay, enough about the promotion. Let's talk about the XPath now. Did you know this is again not a figure and facts which are published somewhere. As a lead and as a manager in various companies, one of my metrics is basically how are my team members spending time, where they are spending more time and where they are spending less time, and where they are can become more efficient. Okay, so this is from all those figures. So mostly we spent around 30% time in writing XPaths only. Uh, so can you guys just shut off the camera or video? Okay, because the pop-up is keep coming. Okay, so 30% time in writing the XPaths only. Okay, so before, so let's say we get some task on Jira about automating some tasks. The first task we do is basically identifying all the XPaths, then testing those XPaths, then trying different test strategy, and then finally writing the whole script with XPath and your code and the framework code which we are using. So overall, in from start to end, we spend around 30% of the time in just identifying the good XPath, testing out XPath, and finally figuring out that which is the best XPath. Also, automation engineers spend around 60% time in updating XPath during automation script maintenance. So once the scripts are created, then the maintenance period, so let's say you created 400 test scripts. Now, in the maintenance period, so maintenance is for the 400 test script and the new test cases which is being added daily. So this maintenance period is mostly involves updating these XPaths. Any change in UI, you need to change XPath. Any change in functionality, most of the time you need to change the XPath. Okay, so 60% of the time where we are actually fixing something, we are fixing actually something in XPath. By writing efficient code, by writing efficient XPath, you can save around 10% of your test code. So one of the example, if you need to look for element where you need to have value, what you can do, you can use an efficient XPath rather than handling it in code, right? You need to find out a value from a table which is greater than certain value. Rather than doing that in code, you can do it in XPath. So all those things you can do in XPath and save around 10% of the test code. XPath contains over 200 built-in functions. So most of the people are using text is equal to something, contains is equal to something. But XPath has over 200 built-in functions. So I'm sure apart from the random thing, I'm sure any task which you want to do, you can achieve through XPath, which you are doing in code, like trim, using normalization space replacement, finding out the length, you can do that. Finding out the position, you can do that. So there are a lot of functions people are not aware of in while writing the XPaths. Without XPath, you cannot automate applications. So any web application, even a mobile application, if you're using APM, is dependent upon XPath. So language could be anything. You can work on any language like Python, Java, C Sharp, but XPath remains the same. XPath concept, XPath thing remains the same whether you work on Java, whether you work on Python. So XPath is common regardless of any application or programming language. When you start your automation career as a beginner, okay, the first thing asked by interviewers are if you are good in XPath or XPath related tasks, like how would you find something where there is no ID, name or tag is there? Do you understand the concept of access? Did you understand the concept of nodes? So most of the people, especially I can tell you about my experience, when I recently started switching from functional tester to automation tester, I saw a lot of question in XPath only. And gradually then Java and now these days CI/CD concepts are also being introduced and asked in interview. Okay, let's start about XPath. Relative versus absolute. So what is relative and what is absolute? Let's talk about, this is your HTML DOM. Right? So it is an HTML DOM which starts with HTML, ends with HTML, and under that we have multiple divs, span, etc. So now let's say in this div, I need to find the XPath of this element. Okay. So there are multiple ways to find this XPath. One of them, which is the simplest one in this tool itself, in Chrome Dev tool itself, is basically go to copy and find copy full XPath. Okay. So this is your absolute XPath. In here, you visit every node which is possible to find out the XPath or find out the element which is present in this particular HTML DOM. So you start from HTML, which is this, then you go into the body, which is this, then you go to the div, then you go to the header, then you go to the li, and then finally you go to the li also you go to the exact location, and then finally you find this particular XPath. What is the problem with this? The problem with this is basically, let's say in future, a developer made a change and add something, some new div in this particular node structure. Let's say he adds a new div after site title, or he adds a new list item here, right? I can add one more item here after home. So if I make any changes in any particular node, it will break, this XPath will break. Okay. So again, as I said, most of the time we are in the maintenance, we are dealing with XPath. So if you don't write the correct XPath or a XPath which is efficient for the future, you will face problem in maintenance period. So that's why you don't want to write XPath something like this. Okay. Now there comes the second part, which is an absolute, sorry, relative XPath. Relative means you find an XPath which does not depend mostly on the nodes. Okay, it is independent from the nodes, and basically mostly it is found using either text or some kind of thing which is kind of a unique in that particular page, right? So in this case, if I find the XPath of this link, what would be my XPath? I can type Control F and start writing XPath. So this is an anchor tag. So first of all, I need to find out all the anchor tags in this page, right? Now, the problem with the Chrome tool, which Sanjay solves in his tools, ChromePath as well as Lector Hub, as soon as I do this, the previous view is already lost. So if you are very good in writing XPath, then you can still write the XPath. Okay, but if you are really beginner or just has started out, it becomes an issue to find out these kind of things. And this is where tools like ChromePath and Selector Hub becomes handy. So now I know under that I need to find out the XPath of this element. So I will select that again and research about it. So the text, I need to find out that this, if I do edit as HTML, this element is having a text login and register. Okay. Again, I can use equals here, but the problem with equals again, if certain later on it is changed, like register will become a separate module, this text will again change. So what I want, I can have login, because login page will remain most probably unless there are some drastic changes in the page in future. Okay. So what I will do, I will find out the element, will say contains, okay, text, text, okay, comma, clear out this, and now I will add the text which is needed. Here log is the tag, but the problem with log is not readable, right? You are writing it XPath for login ring, so make it readable also. So I can say log and then in. I think there is one extra space here. Okay, so that's how you can write a relative XPath. Now this XPath, they see one of one, is not dependent upon any node structure. So unless there is one other node structure added with similar kind of text, then it will break. Otherwise, we are sure that it will not get impacted whether we have added a new li, whether we have added a new div, whether we have added any HTML. So anything we add here till this part is not dependent on this. Unless we add another link with text, let's say login as an admin or something like that, only then it will fail, right? Where is the, so this is about why we need to choose relative XPath compared to absolute. Okay.